Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to mention one more time about the amends. Just take an example. I made an amend to my son. I've been letting him down, been a very bad mother and all that. And to say I'm sorry, he doesn't want to hear that, It's not about saying I'm sorry. I told him what I had seen and that I regretted so much and I couldn't do anything about what had happened, but I asked him, is there anything I can do to make it right, And he was thinking for a while and then he said, yes, there is. Okay, what's that? I want you to always tell me when you are going away, when you are coming back, so that I know. Because I had just disappeared and they didn't know where I was or anything like that. And I said, okay, I will do that from now on. A demonstration of fulfilling this amend is that I call him every time I'm going away. I'm going to Stockholm tomorrow. I take the train at this time. I come back on Monday. This time I'll be home again. And I've done that all the time. That is my amend to him. And that is the demonstration that he could start to trust me again. Today he says, oh, Mommy, you don't have to phone me every time and tell me wherever you go. But I said, but I want to, because now he's seen that he can trust me. That is to do an amend, I do what I say and I say what I do. That is being honest. And it says in the program that when we are half through the amends, these promises will start to come through. And then we come to the 10th step. This thought that we work for them, we continue with our amends while we are starting with the step 10. When we have started to do our amends, we go into step 10. And it suggests that we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. This is what we do now. The amends is, we straighten up our past, but now we start to live this way of life as I go along during the day. And it's very precise and exact instructions for me what to do. We vigorously commenced this way of living, it says, as we cleaned up the past. While I'm cleaning up the past, I start with step 10. We have entered the world of the Spirit. What does that mean? I have become God conscious. My spirit has woken up. I am a new person. And I'm trying to live in a decent and honest way. And I try to live along with God's will with me. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. And this is not an overnight matter, it should continue for our lifetime. So this is something I have to continue doing. Because, it's not adding something, it's to remove the things as I go along that is blocking me. So when the selfishness, the resentments comes back, I start to recognize them. I recognize them. And I do something about it immediately during the day. So it says, continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. Isn't that what I did in step 4? When these crop up, and that means they will crop up. Oh, they did crop up, and they still do. At once I ask God first. I ask God at once to remove them. 2, I discuss them immediately with someone and make amends quickly if I've harmed anyone. If I've said something stupid to someone, if I've harmed anyone, if I have been gossiping, for example, at work about another person, I recognize that I've done something wrong and I try to make it right, and I don't go to the person I've been gossiping about, because that would maybe hurt that person, you know. Oh, I thought she was my friend and she's been gossiping about me. I go to the person I've been gossiping with and tell her I was wrong. That was wrong of me to gossip about a person that is not here. I'm so sorry. You know, I clean up as I go. And I learn how to recognize when this comes. And then I resolutely, it says, resolutely turn my thoughts to someone I can help. And that can be wherever I am. You know, it could be at work. I could, turn, how can I be helpful? I do this for you instead. You know, I take out the garbage. I do something to get out of myself, because I am the problem. If I start to live in the problem, I go inwards again. I gotta get out of myself. To someone, how can I be helpful here? Love and tolerance of others is our code. And here comes the amazing 10-step promises. When we have started to live this way, because the problem is me, not other persons, and I have to continue to watch, ask, discuss, and turn all day long. And wow, I worked with this in the beginning so much. Watch, ask, discuss, turn all the time, because my mind was still crazy, very crazy. And then the 10-step promises comes, and we have ceased fighting anything or anyone. And that is a big promise. Anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time sanity will have returned. And wasn't that what was in step 2? Came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. That's new. Very new. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. I've just done the work. I've just followed directions. And this happens. Because I'm not concentrating on my feelings and alcohol and all that anymore. I've been looking for a solution. I start to live in the solution instead of the problem. And suddenly alcohol it's no power in alcohol anymore, because I found a new solution. As long as I have this feeling that alcohol can do something for me, I will drink again. But when I come here, I don't need alcohol anymore. I don't want alcohol anymore. I don't even think of alcohol anymore. I mean, when I was sick, I was either thinking of how to drink or thinking of how not to drink. How do I get through this day? You know? And here I have a new solution, and it has come automatically by me being willing to do this work and find this solution, and living by spiritual principles. And my spirit has awakened. It just comes, it says, and that is the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. And I love these lines, you know, because I heard so many times, don't go to the pubs, don't go where you can be tempted, and you can't go there, and you can't travel, and you can't do this. And I mean, I would be in prison, because alcohol is everywhere. And this book promised me that I can be free. And I'm a free woman today, and I can go anywhere, and I can be where people are drinking, and it doesn't affect me at all. And that is the freedom. We feel as though we had been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. No, I haven't. Instead, the problem has been removed. And what was the problem? The obsession of the mind for a solution for me that always was alcohol, always. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. And that is our experience. And that is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. And that is my responsibility, to keep myself in fit spiritual condition. God doesn't do for me what I can do for myself. And this, if I'm not recovered here, I don't know what. You know? The problem doesn't exist for me anymore. There is no power in alcohol. I don't want anything that changes the way I feel anymore. This is the spiritual awakening. But we have to work for it. And this is what we do during the day. From I wake up in the morning, during the day. And it was really hard work in the beginning for me. It's easy, it says, to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. Oh, yes, it is. I'm fine now. I feel good. I don't need to do this anymore, you know, and life starts to get good again, and I sort of drift away. And I think all of us have done this to a certain point, you know. But it says, we are headed for trouble if we do. For alcohol is a subtle foe. It's very subtle. It just creeps in. You know, the old thinking, the old behavior, and start to justifying and all this. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve, contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. In everything that I do. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. And these are thoughts which must go with us constantly. There are only two wills. It's God's will and it's my will. What do you want me to be here? You know, show me how you want me to be. We can exercise our willpower along this line all we wish, because this is the proper use of the will. So I get my will back here, but I use it in the right way now, not for my own selfish motives. You know, I try and be of use. Much has already been said about receiving strength, inspiration and direction from Him who has all knowledge and power. If we have carefully followed directions, it says, we have begun to sense the flow of His Spirit into us, and to some extent we have become God-conscious. We have begun to develop this vital sixth sense. You know, it says begun. This is the beginning. We are growing, it says, in understanding and effectiveness. It doesn't happen overnight. We have to work for it. I had to work hard for it, especially in the beginning. But we must go further, and that means more action. Never a rest here. Never a rest. Step 11 suggests prayer and meditation. We shouldn't be shy on this matter of prayer. Better men than me are using it constantly. I love the way he's writing here, you know. He knows exactly what I'm thinking. Because he was exactly like me. But it works if we have the proper attitude and work at it. It would be easy to be vague about this matter, yet we believe we can make some definite and valuable suggestions. When I retire at night, here he tells me, they tell me what to do at night. I constructively review my day. Constructively. So I think about, how has my day been? How well have I done my 10-step today? You know? Have I been resentful today? I do this in the end of the day, in quiet time with God, and I answer these questions for myself. You know, have I been resentful today? Yeah, I got irritated with that woman at work. She was lazy and she said, yeah, I was, you know, constructively. Okay, have I been selfish today? And I look at my day, I went to my coffee break first of all, because I needed a break. You know, that was selfish, because I didn't consider the others. Was I dishonest today? Have I lied today? Have I told half-truths today? You know, I really look at this and I ask myself honestly, have I been afraid today? Yeah, I went to detox and I got afraid because I understood that I had to do all the talking, and I got afraid, you know? Yeah, I was afraid there. Do I owe an apology today? Do I? Have I kept something to myself today which I should have discussed with another person at once? Because it says immediately. Have I been kind and loving toward all people today? And that was hard. All? Well, I was in the queue in the shop and I got really irritated with the cashier. She wasn't fast enough and I was in a hurry. You know, all. What could I have done better today? And that's a good question. I could have done a 10-step. I could have been more patient. I could have asked God for help to show me how He wants me to be. You know, I learn all the time. If I do this, I learn. Was I thinking of myself most of the time? Yeah, probably I was still. Or was I thinking of what I could do for others, or what I could pack into the stream of life? Well, when I was drunk, I didn't pack at all. And I have to look at, you know, what I have done good as well. You know, what have I packed? Yes, I went to work. I phoned my friend up. We had a good chat, you know. But I must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection. Why? For that would diminish my usefulness to others. Because if I fall into that, I start to accuse myself that, oh, I didn't do anything right today, and I'm still such a bad person. You know, I get self-pitying. Who wants what I have? How can I be useful to anyone then? You know, this is not about me anymore. I am a demonstration of the power of God in my life today. It's attraction, you know, this program. After making my review, I ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. And if I see I owe an apology, I write it up on a paper, and I said, tomorrow I'm going to go and make that apology. And then it tells us what to do in the morning. On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We have a 24-hour plan here. We consider our plans for today. What am I going to do today? I'm going to go up, I'm going to clean some, I'm going to go to work, constructively, my plans. Maybe my plans are not fulfilled because maybe God has another plan, but that's so okay, but I still need to have a plan. I never had plans before. Before we begin with this, we ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. And that's the first thing I do in the morning when my eyes open. God, please direct my thinking today, because I can't. Please direct my thinking today. Let it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. That's the first thing I say. Because my mind is like a computer, you know. I've been thinking the same way for so many years, 40 years, when I was drinking, and even before. It's like a computer that turns on in the morning. And I need God to change my thinking directly in the morning. And under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance, for after all, God gave us brains to use. So He gives me my brain back. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when my thinking is cleared of wrong motives. And the wrong motives is that everything is about me, what I want, what I need, how other people must treat me, and you know, all about me. In thinking about our day, we may face indecision. We may not be able to determine which course to take. And here we ask God for inspiration and an intuitive thought or a decision. We relax and we take it easy. We don't struggle. And I mean, I have this quiet time in the morning together with God, trying to, you know, it says in the book, make sure your relationship with God is right. from the beginning of the day. And I mean, I have my personal way of doing it, and I do some stuff, and everyone has different ways of doing it. But I have to connect to that power in the morning. If my relationship with God is not right, I come to work, I am stressed, I'm irritable, everything is wrong at work, people are looking strange at me, the patients are, I'm like this. Everything is wrong because I'm in self. But if my relationship with God is right when I come to work, I'm fine. And everyone is fine, and everything is running smooth. Because I go with the flow. And it's not about me. And this is not about, Eastern meditation. This is about reflection and connecting to this power in the morning. So they tell us what to do in the morning, they tell us what to do in the evening. It says that we come to rely upon it, the plane of inspiration, that I intuitively start to know how to handle situations. We usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that will be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. We ask especially from freedom from self-will and are careful to make no requests for ourselves only. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped, and we are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. Many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. I can't use God as Father Christmas. Give me this, give me a better job, do this, I want. I've given my will away, and my will is my wants. Because they never worked. And I love what it says down on page 87. As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful. This was very, very difficult for me in the beginning. Because when I'm in it to win it, And impulse, like this. But I pause when agitated or doubtful. And I ask, pray for the right thought or action. How do you want me to be here? Maybe I shouldn't say anything. I don't need to discuss. I don't need to be right. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, thy will be done, not mine. And I use this all the time, especially in the beginning, We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. And that was what I had been doing, I get more effective. I don't go into this thinking and analyzing. I start to go with the flow and allow people to be who they are, And I don't try to change everything. How can I be useful? I'm trying to live the way God always wanted me to live. To be the person that He intended for me to be. And as I said before, it's not about adding something, because there's never been anything wrong with my spirit, really. I've just been so blocked by my self-will that it's about removing, recognizing and removing them all through the day. And if I can remove it, I can become the person that God had intended me to be. There was nothing wrong with my spirit. It was blocked. It was like, the onion they talk about. Dark shelters, what do you say? Covering up the lamp. And I have started to uncover, discover, so that the lamp can start to burn again. And I can become the person I was intended to be. And that's what we do in this program. We have to crash it down and rebuild it. That's what we have to do. And it says, it works. It really does. And I remember I called my sponsor and I said, it works. It really does. Because I started to watch myself and I was, I wanted to do it. There, I got scared there. I was like this. Because I had discovered something new. I have to get rid of that, working for it. So it works. It really does, if you work it. We alcoholics are undisciplined. Oh, yes, we are. And I am. And I need these disciplines in my life. Because in my brain, I'm just like that. So we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. But this is not all. There is action and more action, because faith without works is dead. So the next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. So more work. Okay? Thank you.
10 minutes break.